Hey, good morning, everybody. I've been debating whether to tell you this story. Some people know, like the channel members know a little bit about this story, but I'm going to try and show it a little bit better how it happened. Um, it was a physical altercation that happened at work involving a shoplifter, actually two of them. And it got pretty ugly. I'm not going to lie to you, it got ugly. And I'm, I'm I'm sorry that the incident happened. Uh, I'm not sorry for what I did, to be quite honest with you. It's a shame. When I say I'm sorry, it's more like it's sad that this had to happen, but it's the reality of today's times. So, sorry, a little sniffly again this morning. So, I work at a retail grocery store, and we have bathrooms in the back of the store, and then we have in the front of the store, we have employee bathrooms, you know, in the like the stockroom area just for the employees. So sometimes it's easier to just go to the closest one. So I decided to do that, and it's like a little foyer. Picture you're walking through like an opening, and then if you go to the left, which would be this way, would be the men's room, and to the right would be the ladies' room. Just a little vestibule, probably size of a closet, master closet. And I go back there, and there's a guy with a backpack on, and he's either smoking or vaping. And it was crazy. I'm thinking to myself, how stupid can you be? The whole vestibule looked like a scene out of a Cheech and Chong movie. And I'm like, hey, dude, you can't smoke in the store. He's like, oh, okay. So he's trying to push the smoke away, and must have been vape because I never did see a cigarette. So then he goes, oh, you can't go in there, like pointing to the men's room. Somebody's in there. So right away, cling. I called shoplifters for many years, 3 years specifically in Baltimore. So I know what to look for. I know the signs. And another thing I noticed, they were heavily dressed, big, heavy, baggy clothes, which a lot of times is a sign that people are going to use that bagginess to fill their pockets and stuff like that. So I do the right thing, go up front, tell another manager. She happened to be a young lady who was filling in for a cashier, and she was on the register. So I tried to tell her on the down low, basically quickly, what had happened. I'm going to go back and try and get eyes on them, basically. So as I found this part out later, as I'm going back to try and relocate those guys, see what they're up to, some other customers had come to the front and were advising that there's two shoplifters back there stealing. So I go to the back of the store, and I don't see them anywhere on the back row. I'm looking down in one direction, so I'm walking and I'm just looking up the aisles looking for them. So I go one way and I don't see them. When I turn around, I see them at the opposite end of the store, which is 100 feet away or whatever. So I'm looking, and we have these, excuse me, these clear glass doors that house frozen seafood. So when you open up those doors, the glass kind of fogs up a little bit. So this part sometimes I just react, because that's how I'm built. I don't have the ability to turn the blind eye and stuff like that. But I see them. I realized the guy that was smoking or vaping earlier now has his backpack off, and I'm like, yeah, this is not a good sign. So I see them starting to shut the glass door, the left door, and as they're doing that, it exposes the backpack that's unzipped. I see them, I couldn't see what it was. I see them pushing something in the top of the backpack, and then they shut the door, and then right there, the next aisle over, is more frozen foods. But what I thought they were going to do, I thought at the end of that frozen food aisle, there's like beer and wine. So I honestly thought that's where they were headed. They were going to probably try and get some alcohol and then go about their way. So I wanted to get better confirmation to go by. So as I turned the corner, literally it was like this. As I turned the corner, thinking I was moving rapidly, thinking they're going to be closer to the end of the aisle, I turned the corner and literally almost bumped into them. They were in the next 2 doors in from that frozen food products, and they were stuffing more stuff. I saw him stuffing stuff in the side of his pants. He had like pockets in the side of his pants, and I noticed the pants were real bulky and baggy. So at that point, the one guy already knew I worked there, so I just said, hey, you guys got to go. They were like, what? And the other guy was chirping a little bit. He goes, well, who are you? And this part's almost funny. Not almost funny, it is funny. So I proceed to tell him I'm the manager, but at the very instant that I'm saying the word manager, it sounded like I was going through puberty. My voice kind of got squeaky, and I was thinking to myself, oh man, this isn't going to sound too intimidating. I sound like I'm 12. So anyway, so I just told him I said, look, I'm going to tell you one time, you can leave the store peacefully right now, or I'll call 911. The guy with the backpack, he looked like an Olympic sprinter. He got out of there as quick as he could, and that's what I wanted. I wanted to stop what was happening. So the other guy stays behind, and it's weird. As this is happening, I'm thinking, all right, this guy is the diversion to let the other guy go away. But I still want this guy out of the store. So he's going on and on, and I said, no. I said, you're not allowed to shop here anymore. I said, yeah, it's over. You got to go. And he's like, yeah. So he reaches and opens up a freezer door. So I'm like facing like this. So he's I don't know, 3 feet from the handle of the door, and he's pulling it towards him. So I reach with my right hand and I shut the door. And he starts getting real vocal. He slides down to the next door. I do the same thing. I repeat it like 3 times. And I think on the 3rd or 4th time, he kept saying, if I touch him, he's going to mess me up. That's not the words he used, but you can insert your own words there. So I kept telling him, no, you got to go. So he's testing me. The whole time I know that, all right, I'm in control here. You're not going to be in control here. I didn't say that. That's what I'm thinking. So at that point, I realized I have to kind of put myself in a little bit of danger because I wanted to emphasize that I was in control. So I kind of stepped between between him and the doors. I shut the door with my right hand. I put my left hand out, almost like a stiff arm. Did it slowly. It wasn't like an aggressive move. I did it slowly, just to let him know, like, You know, you can't come this way. So this is where it gets kind of foggy, because if you've ever been in like even a car accident or anything that's dangerous, life-threatening, or whatever you want to call it, sometimes everything goes in slow motion. So I can tell you that he proceeded to throw a punch, and this is where it gets a little vague, and I'm not going to lie. The I had my hand outward, and I honestly, when your adrenaline is going, like you don't feel pain, believe it or not. And I have this defect about me that I don't fear danger. It's just something stupid in me. I've always had that. I don't know why. Most people wish, you know, it's just crazy. But so I do that, and I remember him throwing a punch, and this is where it's vague. I do remember exactly what I did though. So I don't remember if he actually landed one or he possibly did. But later I had a like a bruise here and a knot. I still have slight remnants here. This puffiness, that's my eyes always go through phases of that. So this puffiness here is not from that. But that happens, and immediately I could see this kid like wasn't a really good fighter, because everything he would do was like wide open. He was kind of charged, all wide open. So you gotta, you know, one of the things you got to do is protect your torso and your face and your groin. So he does that. So I come over, and I kid you not, I hit him. It would be this side. Came over the top, square as could be, and then the guy starts falling back. I see his eyes open up like this, and he starts to buckle. And I'm thinking, all right, this could be over. And unfortunately, he didn't go down. This dude was not a big dude. I don't know, 150-ish maybe. I don't know. But so he's falling back towards the coolers, and then he regroups, and then he starts charging. So we keep like trading fisticuffs. We're going on, and it's like he would get knocked back and everything, and then he would just recharge, just like literally come running at me. And I'm thinking, all right, I've got something planned. If he keeps doing this, I've got a move that's going to work. And this is actually a move I wanted to talk about for trail safety and camping safety. I may have to readjust this camera just a little bit to get a better emphasis for this move. But so this is going on, and like literally we're just trading things, and I'm getting good ones in, and he may have on me. To be honest with you, I really don't remember, because it's weird. I remember certain things in slow motion clips, but so we're going at it. I think I was doing pretty good at this one point, and then all of a sudden somebody comes from behind me and is putting me in a bear hug and using my name, telling me to stop, let him go. And when that, I knew that was like the wrong thing, because I was already engaged, and I could tell that this person was probably on drugs. And so what happened now is really crazy. This part, I remember parts of this, but it like I'm starting to remember different bits and pieces, and it all makes sense, and I'm gonna tell you why. So I was bear hugged, and then I hear another voice to my right, and they're all like, stop, let him go, and all this. And so I'm like, that's stupid. I'm not saying it, but I'm thinking that it's stupid. But the young person that was behind me it's a screwed up situation, but that person technically is a tier higher than me on the management scale. So trying to still remain professional somewhat, I kind of calmed down, but they still have me bear hugged. So what does homeboy do? He starts running, takes a flying kick, kicks me in my chest, and keep in mind my arms are immobilized. I can't protect myself, and I'm pretty much trapped. I'm left to be a victim, or very vulnerable. So the dude did that, kicks. We all fall like bowling pins, and I think I ended up with a knot right here. It's not very visible now, but it was a pretty good sized knot, egg, whatever you want to call it. I think what happened there, I think I fell into the glass doors and fell down, hit the door. So I knew right away, there's the daily helicopter that appears in every video I do outside. So let me hit pause for 1 second. So anyway, he's starting to leave the area, going the other direction. So I am now on the ground by myself. People are around me, and they're trying to regain themselves, or they're back on their feet. And I remember being on my back, knowing that this guy is going to charge me and try and jump on me. So I'd been in that situation once before with a shoplifter, and I'm like, all right, this could work out really good. So I'm this is all, my brain is thinking rapidly, but this is all happening very slow. And methodically, he is doing exactly what I thought he would do. And when he does that, I bend my right knee back towards my chest. And as he's trying to jump on me, I give full thrust to his groin, and he buckles, and his eyes are popping out of his head, and he's in a lot of pain. I get back on my feet, start to get a wider base, and then basically that type of stuff repeated itself numerous times. So I remember like thinking, all right, I've had enough of your crap. So I just kind of, I got him backing up, got him against the cooler. I got him pushed like this. I had him here. I don't think I had him here, but I know I had him pushed, and he's dazed and everything. And then the other two guys are around me. They're kind of shoving the guy. All I keep hearing is, let him go, let him go, let him go. And I'm thinking to myself, you know, that's stupid, because I know what he's going to do. So while we kind of have him like pinned against the other side of the aisle, he tries reciprocating with a kick to my groin. Well, he doesn't make it. So they kind of let him go, and they're pulling me back. Homeboy charges again. So this is going on and on and on. And then another kid comes, one of our kids comes, and he just charges him too. And they're pushing him back, pushing him back, pushing him back, pushing him back. And eventually the guy took off because he realized he was outnumbered. There's customers at both ends watching, and it was just crazy. It was just crazy. So everybody's like, oh man, are you all right? You all right? And everything. So, you know, like I had a little nugget here. I had one up here that most people couldn't see because of my hat. And then I pretty much just went back to work. Everybody's like, oh, you know, are you okay? Blah, blah, blah. And I was ticked, right? And so then the police come, and they're all, you know, everybody's, you know, I did go outside briefly, told them what happened. Other people were out there. There was other shoppers that had witnessed other thefts, and they were reporting to the officers that they left on bicycle, headed this direction, blah, blah, blah. So that was that. So let me move this camera back just a little bit. I don't know how well you're going to see this, but let me drop it just a little bit. I'm sorry, folks. I'm just trying to get this in. So one of the this guy kept charging, and he was leaving himself wide open. So, and when you're doing that, you're kind of right foot, left foot type thing, and the guy's not thinking, he's not protecting his torso. The reason I'm crouched down like this is because I want to show you the knee area. As he steps forward, you can do this in any trail video. What I was going to do, I was getting ready to do before I got jumped from behind. As he was making an aggressive move to me, I was going to turn my right foot 90 degrees to get a good strong base, lean in. Again, I'm on a hill here, sorry. I'm going to end up in the river here if I keep going like this. So step in with a very aggressive kick to his kneecap. Helicopters and trains. Planes, trains, and automobiles. Thank you. It's called Jailbait and Tackle Outdoors. So anyway, I promise you that will stop. That would have stopped the fight. And he probably would have never walked normal again. But at that point, he was a threat. And he kept repeating his threats. So that's where I was going to take it to the next level. Didn't get that far. But if you're ever in a scary situation where you have to protect yourself, that is something that most people can execute. I wouldn't do it directly. I believe you can get more force when you have a strong base. You're turned to the side. And many, many years ago, I took American Kempo Karate. So I still remember some of those techniques that are taught. So that is one. So pretty sure that would have worked. And so that's that. How do I surmise the situation? It was a crime that happened right in front of me. Literally, I turned the corner, I was bumping into him. I didn't intend for it to go that way. They were both given opportunities to leave peacefully. One chose the correct option, the other did not. So that's how that happened. So that's that. I want to say more, but I kind of have to protect myself somewhat. But anyway, so that's what happened on Friday night. So just thought I'd share with you guys. Take care, be safe.